Hey, what's going on? My name's Aiden. You're joining me from my driveway here with my somewhat new to me 2007 335i. Wanted to take a second to walk through some of the things that are inevitably wrong with the car, some of the things I like about the car, and some of my future plans for the car. So let's take a look. All right, so here is my very dirty 2007 E90 BMW 335i. It is black on black, sport package, Logic 7 interior. It had been sitting for about a year under the previous owner. He owned a farm shop and didn't really know BMWs, but had a customer that wanted to get rid of it, and he took it on, did the basics, got it running, and then kind of just let it to sit. So I got this thing for a really good deal, and decided that it was going to be my next fun car. I love the N54, despite the hate it gets. You definitely have to be prepared for some of those big ticket items and know how to do things yourself, but really fun engine and really usable on the street. Now the car has been pretty good to me so far. However, as you'd expect, it is broken. Earlier this week I hit a pretty nasty pothole here in Ontario and blew out the rear shock mount. So I ordered some fresh suspension, some Solowerks S1 coilovers, and I'm excited to get those installed later this week on the car and see how it drops, and also see how the car feels. Before I go ahead and start the coilover installation, I wanted to sit and just talk about some of the plans that I have for this thing. Mostly aesthetically, I've kind of already done the power mods that I want to do. I don't really see myself going big turbo. Maybe down the road I'll do some upgraded twins, but we'll see. Aesthetically, as you can see, this thing's got a gray headliner, which for some reason I've just never liked in a car. I'm a huge fan of a black headliner, so I'm going to keep an eye out for a headliner from it. Probably an LCI car, maybe an M Sport car. I think that's where they were more commonly found. So that's my plan, kind of interior. I'd also love to do a peanut butter interior or saddle brown. This thing just deserves a little bit of color, being a black exterior. Exterior wise, I've always loved the M Sport 1 on the pre-facelift E90s. I don't really want to go down the route of an LCI conversion. I do love an LCI, but this car's a pre-LCI, and I think it just deserves to stay that way. So I'll be on the lookout for some MTech 1 front and rear bumpers. I'll put a picture up on the screen to show you kind of what I like and what I'm planning to do with this thing. With that, let's move on to this coilover installation, because I'm really excited to see how the car will look. Fast forward a couple days and I'm here at my buddy's shop, Ameris Premium Auto Care here in Curtis, Ontario. The suspension was in rough shape, and this is the first for me. I pulled off the driver's front wheel to find a spring completely cracked in half. I have no idea how I missed this before or when it happened, but anyways, you mix a little bit of neglect and Canadian winters and this is what you get, I guess. The rear was also really bad. This is the side that blew out completely, and all I can say is that I'm glad I'm changing everything out. You can see some pretty gnarly corroded components back there. And everyone loves shiny new parts. Here are the freshly unwrapped Solowerks S1 coilovers. I think it's a great budget coilover for anyone who wants to lower their vehicle and increase performance while maintaining a nice ride for the street. I'm not going to bother doing a DIY. There are lots of videos out there already showing how to go about the install. This was the first rear shock that I pulled out. As you can see, it's completely blown out and rusted. Things were fused together with corrosion. I'm going to show you the top of the shock mount here in a second as well. That's supposed to be two separate pieces. In the trash it goes. And here's the freshly installed rear coilover setup. It's not too bad when you take your time. If you're doing this job on your car, just remember to take out the existing spring perch cup that sits on top of the original spring. The coilover spring perch actually replaces that. I also installed brand new upper and lower shock mounts, because as you can see, they desperately needed them. All finished up with the rear here. The install didn't take too long. Moving along to the front, this side took a little bit longer. I was just messing around with the shock mount. Unfortunately, my camera died and I didn't get to film this, but let's fast forward to what the car looks like all done. Here's a quick clip of the finished product. It being so dirty, it doesn't really do it much justice, but I think it looks really good. I was super tired and ready to head home, so this is just a quick clip. I'll have to take a better video of the car now that it's all done, once it's all clean. Well guys, believe it or not, the Solowerks coilover system on the 335 works a hell of a lot better than blown out, cracked, and crusty suspension. I can't believe that I was driving around on that cracked spring, and the blown out rear shocks didn't help either. The car soaks up the bumps, stays nice and level in corners now, and I'm very happy to be driving a 335 that drives the way a 335 should. If you have any questions about the install, just leave them down in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer them. Otherwise, thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you on the next video.